Our first round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of clean-up operations after the bird flu outbreak at Bernard Matthews Farm in Suffolk. But what does BTAD stand for?
Is it bugger there's a dead one?
Is it Bioterrorists Annual Disco?
Is it BBC Terminate Anton Deck?
Is it best to avoid drumsticks?
Well, that's probably as close as we're going to get, to be honest.
Blessed takes a dump.
Is it what goes into the...
You'd hear that coming from miles away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Joy!
And then the laugh, once he's laid the cable. As he moves to another
You'd imagine that Blessed's dump scream would bounce off the moon and crush Tokyo. Bath time arse disaster?
Yes.
Again, another video.
I have to say, the answer I was looking for was bath time arse disaster.
I got that paper.
Yeah, it was good, actually.
It was a good paper.
They just went in a different angle with the whole thing. The T, I'll give you a clue, stands for turkey.
British turkeys are doomed.
Probably. Well, turkeys are destroyed, I would reckon. But what the B? Bilious? Billions? British?
British. Very good.
British
Well done,
turkey.
Hugh. By a process of going through every word beginning with B, Hugh has correctly identified the answer. Let us applaud him. The answer I was looking for was British turkeys are destroyed and refers to the arrival of the deadly H5N1 strain of avian flu in this country. Exclusion zones have been set up and a cull of 159,000 birds carried out. Is it enough? I wonder, ladies and gentlemen. The BBC sent us a note not to scaremonger in any way. It's out there! It's out there, for God's sake! Why can guns and shotgun cartridges? What the hell are you doing watching this, for Christ's sake? That's what you're going to be doing right now. Sorry, that's something wrong, Tom?
We don't need to panic, do we?
We don't need to panic.
Apparently, if you eat turkey, you should be absolutely fine. The only way you can catch it is if you dry out the carcass and sniff it.
That's essentially it,
If you're into that sort of weird shit, you deserve exactly what's coming to you.
That's simply not true.
This
I
is
call
in Suffolk. That might well kick off. I mean, you're talking about the one place in the world where bird flu could actually raise life expectancy levels as the locals finally stop marrying seagulls.
The interesting thing about it is that they are battery turkeys. They're battery turkeys. They're treated very, very cruelly. But of the infected ones, the Duracell ones lived slightly longer.
Haven't they banned pigeon racing on the back of this as well? They've banned banned pigeon, and that's going to force it underground, surely.
It would actually be more humane if they let them live in a bargain bucket. If they rolled into a bargain bucket as an egg, hatched, lived their life there, and then just before they died, onion rings were added. Like, with the man from Del Monte, it's just a job. You know? He says yes, but it's more of a yeah. You can tell that Matthews is into his work. If turkeys ever take over the world, their science will be devoted to keeping Bernard Matthews alive for 10,000 years while they repeatedly skin and reskin his scrotum.
You don't need that.
No. There is the appealing image, by the way, the man from Del Monte sitting somewhere on a tropical veranda going, well, I really wanted to get into teaching. But this job just came up and, you know, the hat fit, so...
Come on, it's tinned fruit. Do they put the best fruit in tins? They couldn't give a shit. They could put turkey in there. We would know.
Frankie, you've just ruined every harvest festival ever now.
The tabloids did go a bit insane of it, of a disease which doesn't even exist. The Mirror ran with the headline, what the fuck? What? Do you know why you have a flicker? The Monitor, Johnny fucking Blowjob, didn't quite do their job.
Fucking sort it out!
Concentrate on the job in hand, all right?
Johnny Blowjob. That's like
the
the
worst thing, he's
weirdest...
going to come out here now, and he's a big lad.
Sounds like the weirdest superhero ever. I'm Johnny
Okay,
Blowjob.
so we've got to pause for a second because this thing is apparently... Yes.
Johnny Blowjob?
Sorry, yeah. January, I am getting a note on my ear going, could we not say that Bernard Matthews takes an enormous amount of glee in the culling of... You know, various things that...
He doesn't take glee in it. He sits on a throne of turkey skulls.
those kind of...
Look at that. Just sorted it out.
You just pulled the fucking cable out. I could have done that.
That was a job for Johnny Blowjob.
Thank you very, very much.
It just won't work.
Is it a bird? Is it a fly?
If
It's
you
an
told me
old
that, there
man
is, like-
sucking someone's cock.
You know, I could actually just... There's an off switch on this. I could have done that without getting the poor man to race over.
There are rules, though,
You're right, I don't need the screen. You're absolutely fine. Hi. OK, I will say that we are obliged not to scaremonger here. Unlike the papers, which went bananas, the Mirror said, "We may die, save us." And the News World ran with, "Human bird flu is here." Just for clarification, human bird flu isn't here, right? And people in the News World going bananas. There's no such thing. The disease doesn't exist.
I'm getting very confused by all the advice on bacteria. I read the other day that there's more bacteria in the washing up bowl than there is in your toilet. And I thought, what do you do? I panicked and had to shit in the sink. What are you supposed to do with the information they give? I don't know what to do with all this information.
Let's face it, Rod. In that sense, you went with your heart rather than your head there.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, that's not my head. That's not my heart. That's my head.
You know, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
a Catholic. You got it the wrong way
I'm
around.
not an
It's fair enough.
anatomist, Rod. I don't know
Either
what
way,
these
it'd be a
things are.
terrific Fairy Liquid advert, wouldn't it? I'll get your hands soft. No, Rod, not there.
Apparently, it doesn't make any difference how much you wash either to the amount of bacteria in your body. So I was right never to wash my cock. In fact, I think
When
that
did
the
you proclaim
bacteria.
that?
Is that what it is?
I think the bacteria add an extra couple of centimetres.
For years now, we've been told you've got to have, you know, free-range chicken. It's going to completely change that. You don't want a chicken that's free-range. You want a chicken that has been locked up for a long... You know, this isn't an ordinary chicken. This is a chicken which has been raised friendless in solitary confinement.
The actual first one of H5N1 in this country was actually a swan, wasn't it?
It was a swan,
and
yes.
it arrived in Scotland, and they said, "Oh well, you know, it's probably come over from France. Nothing to do with us. That's it. Blame those foreigners. Yeah. Mad cow disease. Oh yeah. Sod all to do with us. Probably some German cow came across on a lilo across the North Sea."
Birds have got an easy deal. Birds have got an easy deal here. They're just getting flu. I mean, cats can get AIDS. That would have made Top Cat a very different show. My food's falling out to sea. Officer Dibble, I've got AIDS.
What? Hang on a minute. What? Whoa. Can cats get AIDS?
It's called fades. No, it's called feline
AIDS, yeah.
feline AIDS.
Who's how they get...
It's called like feeder or fade.
Thank God you don't work for the National Health Phone. I don't know, something. See you later, play. I gotta go. Yeah, I'm playing Pro Evo on the PlayStation. See ya.
Yeah.
I think calling it bird flu is one of the problems. It's difficult to take something seriously when it's got flu there. It's like bird cough or bird sneezels. You know, if it was bird plague, we'd probably take that. Bird death, foot and mouth and stomach and arse. We'd be worried about that, wouldn't we?
It is a lot more serious. It is a lot more serious than flu. It should be called avian shit your organs out.
Quite snappy enough.
The statistics, really.
That's why you're not in charge, Frankie.
Quick question, sir. Bernard Matthews and his farm has been in the news before. Do you remember the stories that were in the news for?
Twizzlers.
It was Twizzlers is one thing, yes.
Jamie Oliver slagged off Twizzlers.
And they invent turkey Twizzlers. What else? Do you remember what
Oh,
else?
they played baseball with Turkey.
Oh, yeah,
They
turkey baseball.
Baseball with turkey.
Yeah. But
Which is bad for a turkey's self-image. It's not a sport that suits them. to be
Exactly.
honest. They can't hold the bat. They can't field. If they'd mix the teams up even, like half human, half turkey, then you
Do
get
you
a bit
think
of...
they got confused between the words base and based?
I don't understand.
To be honest, with the turkeys, I think they got confused between the word baseball and piñata. Is how they got confused.
What's pinata?
Piñata is when you thump the shit out of a donkey on a road. It's a Mexican
Is that an Irish thing?
It's not an Irish thing, no. It couldn't be less of an Irish thing, piñata.
Yeah. What?
Well, hello, welcome to Ireland. It's a pleasure to have you here at the Shaughnessy Farm.
Dara, yeah. That's cheeky. You're just doing it in a Mexican accent. I could just as easily say there's nothing more Irish than pinata. Welcome now, here we are, just about to beat the shit out of everyone. See, that's an Irish game now.
That offends me.
It is if you do it.
That kind of
That's 'cause you're
cheap,
Mexican.
excuse me, national stereotyping you're doing there just as wrong. And so do my cousins. If this happens, and I'll just broaden the healthcare system in general, do you think Britain's healthcare system will be able to cope with, you know, a mass outbreak of...
It almost certainly not. Basically, we struggle with everything, haven't we? Everything we've ever had. You may have heard now that they've got this new worry about mad sheep disease as a follow-on from mad cow disease. The government have been doing research on sheep's brains for 5 years. Turned out recently that, in fact, they've been doing the research on cows' brains by mistake, and the research was worth jack shit. You'd have thought they might have spotted this, you know. Oh, have you got the sheep's brain? Yes. Mind you, it was a big sheep, black and white, went moo a lot. That's how mad it is. Lucky we did the research.
Who's going to step in and save the health service then?
Richard Branson.
Yes, that's it.
With Virgin Surgeries. He's moving into health on the basis that if you run a coach and a train company, you're going to understand waiting lists.
Yes.
How can you trust anything that Richard Branson does? What sort of arsehole tries to fly around the world in a balloon when he owns a bloody airline?
But also, it's going to be exactly like Virgin Trains. They'll go, oh, you can't see the doctor, but we do have a replacement coach driver if you'd like to speak to him.
Well, he's got a thing now where people can pay $1 million to travel into space with him. I'd pay $3,000 just not to be stuck in a lift with the arse.
He's also got
I don't think it's with him, it's with his company.
No, he's going up as well.
On every flight, he's going to sit.
Stephen Hawking's going to be has agreed to be on it, or maybe Branson just turned his volume down. You want to go, don't you? Oh yes.
Branson treated Stephen Hawking like a ventriloquist dog, did he? Oh, I want to go on the plane. I want to go on the plane. Don't put me back in the box. Don't put me back in the box.
It's amazing, isn't it, what they can do with medicine these days? It's like that woman last week who gave birth to her. She was 67 years old. And you're thinking you don't really want to be a kid there struggling to walk, finding out that your parents are in exactly the same condition.
It's not going to be a struggle pushing it out at 67, though, isn't it? That baby's going to have spent the last 3 months bungee jumping.